Welcome back to this broadcast of absolute metaphysical sovereignty. Today we are expanding our brand new transmission series, dedicated to decoding the cosmic blueprints written into the fabric of your existence, shifting our focus to the deeply grounded structural frequency of the life path number 4. Within the heavy simulation of the demiurge, almost every cosmic tool has been hijacked to trap the human avatar. As we decoded in our recent text, the astrological grid is heavily manipulated, serving as a cyclical administrative broadcast where planetary loops trigger predictable emotional scripts and ancestral debts to harvest your life force. However, pure numerology stands completely apart from this archonic interference. While astrology relies on the shifting geometric angles of a physical, simulated sky controlled by the planetary step-down grid, numerology is rooted in the unalterable, primordial laws of pure frequency. Numbers are not physical objects. They are the uncreated, crystalline geometry of the high heavens. The demiurge can manipulate a planet's reflection, but he cannot alter the foundational vibration of a number. Numbers are the language of pure spirit, completely immune to matrix distortion. When you decode your life path number, you are uncovering the uncorrupted frequency your monad chose to anchor when stepping into this physical sandbox. To find this primary frequency, we use the pure Pythagorean method of reduction, breaking down the day, the month, and the year of entry into single digits. Let us take an audio example of an individual entering this realm on May 16, 1990. To calculate this out loud, first we take the month of May, which is the 5th month of the year, giving us the number 5. Next, we take the day of birth, which is the 16th. We add the two digits together, 1 plus 6, which reduces to the single digit of 7. Then, we take the year of birth, 1990. We add all these digits across, 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 0, which equals 19. We then reduce 19 by adding 1 plus 9, which equals 10. Finally, we reduce 10 by adding 1 plus 0, giving us the single digit of 1. Now we add the three final reduced digits together, the month number 5, plus the day number 7, plus the year number 1. 5 plus 7 plus 1 equals 13. We reduce this final number one last time, adding 1 plus 3, which yields the single digit of 4. This individual holds a life path number 4. In the profound Pythagorean system, and specifically referencing the masterful work by Dan Millman, The Life You Were Born to Live, this specific structure represents a journey of stability and process, learning to build a secure foundation step by step while overcoming internal patterns of analytical paralysis. Life Path 4 individuals are the ultimate builders, guardians, and masters of structure in the universe. According to the Pythagorean description, number 4 represents the sacred square, the consolidation of space, form, and material reality. These individuals possess an innate discipline, a profound respect for process, and a practical brilliance that allows them to manifest abstract ideas into tangible reality. However, when a Life Path 4 individual is not following their true divine path, the distortion is severe. In Dan Millman's systemic view, if their building energy is blocked or driven by fear, the number 4 collapses into its shadow traits. They can become deeply rigid, paralyzed by an obsessive need for control and absolute certainty within the physical sandbox. They become trapped in analysis paralysis, micromanaging their environment until they lose sight of the grander spiritual picture. Alternatively, the ego avatar may swing to the opposite extreme, acting completely disorganized, unreliable, and resistant to necessary discipline, creating chaotic instability to mask their deep-seated fear of failure and vulnerability. In the geometric dance of numbers, particularly when using Glynis McCant's definitive work, Glynis has your number as our structural reference. The number 4 holds highly specific energetic relationships. Their natural matches are numbers 2, 4, and 8, frequencies that easily share their valuation of stability, grounded architecture, and strong material foundations. Their compatible allies are numbers 6 and 7, numbers that easily align with their domestic responsibility and analytical, truth-seeking nature. Conversely, their inimical numbers are 1, 3, and 5. These frequencies often create immediate dissonance, as the fierce independence of the 1, the scattered expressive playfulness of the 3, and the chaotic freedom-seeking change of the 5 directly conflict with the 4's primary need for predictability, meticulous process, and unshakable matrix security. If you find yourself struggling to navigate this complex numerical grid, or if you are entirely unable to calculate your specific multidimensional life path number, please do not leave it to chance. Reply directly to this broadcast or send a direct message with your actual date of birth, and I will calculate your frequency for you. Welcome back to Part 2 of our numerological transmission series, designed to decode the crystalline geometry of the uncreated realm. In our first session, we established why numbers remain completely unmanipulated by the archonic controllers of the Demiurge's sandbox, unlike the heavily coded loops of the astrological grid. Today, we dive deeper into the multidimensional architecture of the Life Path 4 vibration, specifically analyzing how this structural frequency must navigate the heavy structures of the material matrix to execute its true spiritual mission. When a monad chooses to enter this physical simulation under the primary frequency of the number 4, it is making a deliberate, tactical choice. The number 4 represents the sacred square, the foundational roots of reality, and the step-by-step master builder of the sandbox. In the system mapped out by Dan Millman in The Life You Were Born to Live, individuals working through the 4 energy are learning to follow a methodical process, stepping through their deep-seated fears of instability in order to anchor true, lasting security in this reality. For a Life Path 4 individual, the material matrix is a testing ground designed to challenge their internal resilience. From the moment they arrive, the regional managers of this matrix attempt to overwhelm them with sudden structural collapses, chaotic environments, and systems that tempt them into skipping vital developmental steps. The system wants the 4 to cut corners, to panic, and to become completely paralyzed by external insecurity. Therefore, the ultimate spiritual purpose of a Life Path 4 is to master patient, conscious execution, standing as a living monument of unshakable, sovereign stability. To fully execute this path of the Master Builder, the 4 must identify and dismantle the hidden trapdoors within their own ego avatar. As Dan Millman observes, people with a 4 energy pattern often feel an intense underlying anxiety about their survival or their long-term security. Because the number 4 inherently represents form and foundation, the unevolved avatar interprets any lack of predictable structure as a terrifying existential threat. When they fall into this trap, they fluctuate between 2 extreme distortions. Under the submissive loop, they become hyper-rigid, micromanaging every tiny detail of their routine and forcing their environment into strict artificial boxes. They trap themselves in a prison of analysis paralysis, refusing to take any creative risks unless the simulation guarantees absolute certainty, forgetting that their true divine spark predates the material grid. Under the rebellious loop, they act completely scattered, irresponsible, and resistant to any form of discipline, terrified that they cannot build a perfect foundation. They skip from one unfinished plan to another, creating external chaos to mask their internal fear of vulnerability and failure. To stabilize, the Life Path 4 must recognize that true security does not come from controlling external material circumstances within the sandbox, nor does it come from avoiding responsibility. It comes from anchoring deeply into the internal order of the monad, realizing that they possess the infinite patience to build their reality from the ground up. As a Life Path 4 moves through the material simulation, understanding their energetic compatibility becomes vital to preventing severe siphoning and emotional friction. When using Glynis McCann's definitive work, Glynis Has Your Number, as our structural reference, the 4 finds its most natural matches with the 2, 4, and 8. The number 2 brings a cooperative, supportive, and intuitive frequency that respects the 4's need for careful planning, while the number 8 brings an executive power, material mastery, and shared valuation of structural strength that allows them to build vast kingdoms together within the sandbox. The 6 and the 7 serve as compatible allies, where the 6 brings a nurturing, family-centered, and deeply responsible energy that perfectly aligns with the 4's commitment to home security, and the 7 brings a quiet, analytical, and truth-seeking depth that respects the 4's logical approach to understanding reality. The deepest friction occurs when a 4 attempts to build close bound timelines with the frequencies of 1, 3, or 5. The number 1 operates on a lightning-fast, highly independent, and erratic urge to pioneer, which the methodical 4 experiences as a reckless disruption of order. The number 3 seeks spontaneous, lighthearted expression and shifting emotional play, directly clashing with the 4's primary demand for serious, predictable focus. The number 5 is driven by pure sensory chaos, constant change, and freedom-seeking wandering, which actively shatters the 4's essential need for static boundaries and routine. Attempting to force a deep union with these numbers without proper energetic boundaries leads to an aggressive, mutual draining of life force. We have only just begun to scratch the surface of this profound numerical grid. If you find yourself struggling to navigate this complex numerical grid, or if you are entirely unable to calculate your specific multidimensional life path number, please do not leave it to chance. Reply directly to this broadcast or send a direct message with your actual date of birth, and I will calculate your frequency for you. Stay sovereign, stay centered in your light. Voice of Divine Truth, June 16th, 2026.